thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I'd give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, that's the way I've lied to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you feed on a tree frog. This ordeal, the trial to survive, for that day we see new life. I'd give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I've lied to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
That was absolutely wonderful. The key change, the everything. I mean, I'm glad we got the MT32 head unit installed in time so we could enjoy the full version of the Metal Gear Solid 3 soundtrack. Worth every penny. Thank you to the tech team and all the people who made that possible. Ooh, boy, love it. While we are waiting to get our MGS3 run off the ground, I would like to remind you that we have lots of prizes available. If you go to gamesdonequick.com, and if you're on the mobile, you might need to hit the menu button, but otherwise just go to the top of the screen and look for prizes. You can see all the prizes that are available right now through the end of the next run, Celeste. After Power Wash. The Evolution Diamond Pixel Art from Ketikat at a minimum $50 donation. The Mario Kart Spectrum Speedway Scented Candle. And of course, the Metal Gear Solid prizes. The I Feel Asleep cross stitch at a $25 minimum donation provided by Skater43. The Venom Snake painting from Carolyn Design at a $20 minimum donation. And the Metal Gear Solid playing cards from Fangamer and Konami at a $10 minimum donation. So I understand our runners, if you know this Metal Gear Solid 3 run, our runners will not be performing the ladder skip this evening because, hold on, let me check my notes. Apparently because it is, quote, not Kino, and because T-posing is, quote, extremely mid. I'm also told that it's very much not viable in single segment runs, whatever that means. All right, everyone, I want you to strap on your gear and get ready to run. With ApacheSmash and Vermillion, it's Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, European Extreme, all face paints and camos. To arms, soldier.
All right.
Oh, hello everyone. How's it going? Yeah, I'm ApacheSmash. I'm going to be running European Extreme with racing my boy Vermillion. I'm really excited. If the commentators, my good friends, could give us a countdown, and then we'll hit go at the same time.
All right, boys. Are you ready to go?
We are ready.
Definitely.
All right. We are going to be going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off.
After
So we
the
have
end of World War
ApacheSmash
II, the world was split into
taking
two,
on
east and west.
former,
This marked
or
the
he's
beginning of
currently
the
or
era
former
called the Cold
Smash
War.
competitor, Verm. Funny how that works.
Yeah, these two are really, really good at the game, obviously, because they are on the big stage. Vermillion, current world record holder in most categories as it sits right now. He has been grinding very, very hard in this game over the last few months. Apache, he's been running this for 4 years. Third appearance at a GDQ. This is nothing new to him. It's going to be a very exciting race with the added twist of all camos and face paints. Tell us a little bit about that. What makes it different from a regular European Extreme run?
Well, the regular Euro Extreme run is already super difficult to learn for MGS3, so it's, you're learning to juggle, and once you get that down, they throw a bowling ball, a bowling pin, a wrench at you, and says juggle this at the same time as well. So you're trying to do all this at the same time as learning the regular Euro run, which makes it super difficult. There are a total of 23 items they'll have to pick up, 17 uniform camos, as well as 6 face paints.
Yeah, and they're spread out throughout various areas in the map. Some you got to backtrack for, some you got to do some weird, awkward strats that you would normally not do, say, in a traditional speed run. For the Virtuous mission here, it's going to be business as usual. There's nothing to pick up for the first few minutes here. They're just going to be going through a few rooms, taking out a couple guards, and pretty simple stuff for the first few minutes.
Yeah, a little background on MGS3. There was a hiatus where there was like a 4-year, 5-year period where no one was really going for top record times, and Apache was the one that actually broke that barrier and got a new record after it was dead for so long. And he was at the forefront of a few runners, but he was the first one to break that barrier and continue pushing that time down. So fast forward now he's like the grizzled veteran of running MGS3, and you got Verm coming in, who's only been running the game for about a year or so, challenging him now, and they were going back and forth playing Euro. And then all of a sudden, Apache's like, I'm just going to come up with a new category. Let's just get all the camos. And Verm took him up on that challenge, and here we are.
Yeah, Apache is definitely a pioneer of various challenge runs, like the Tuxedo speed run and single segment, the all camos run. He's done some other weird runs as well. Definitely an MGS3 nerd in his own right. But Verm is very, very talented, but he's having some trouble here. Really taking his time. Oh, he's taking a death. Wow. That is an unfortunate start.
It's still early on. If you want to take a continue, you'd rather do it now. Get that monkey off your back of trying to get a perfect run. Get that away early and then just relax later on. So, not the worst place to do it if you're going to do it early on. But let's get into the tech side of MGS3. So, coming up, for the first tech you'll see runners use quite often in MGS3 is if you're in a level plane as your opponent, you can actually just go into auto aim, first person, stand on your tiptoes, and you'll get an automatic headshot. You'll see Vermillion do it coming up on this fight. You'll just auto aim, go in first person, go on your toes. There'll be an instant headshot as Apache's wrapping up his section of the Virtuous mission.
Yeah, the gap isn't that big despite the continued. There's still plenty of time, obviously, for Verm to catch up. But yeah, Apache getting ready to end his Virtuous mission. He's going to have to heal himself, going through the menus to heal himself. Not as easy as you think. The menus are a little awkward in this game.
Yeah, they are running the Xbox version of it compared to PS3, so I'm not sure how the menu is compared to the PS3 because it does lag a little bit and you do have to kind of adjust your inputs to make up for that. But Vermillion's also about done with his Virtuous mission, getting to the end, healing up his cuts and bruises he gets from that CQC encounter.
Yes.
And Apache's done with his, and he's starting Operation Snake Eater.
Yeah, so in Snake Eater, that's where we're going to be picking up the extra camos and face paints throughout. One room here to just go through nothing. You're not doing much here. And then we'll begin picking up stuff here shortly.
That's right, there goes Vermillion doing his curing. Apache could actually do a food zip if he'd like, chooses not to. There is a Yabloco Moloco up top that you can use as a food item to zip, but we won't worry about that. As we get into the first room with guards for Apache coming up. And you don't have any of your weapons here as they take away your guns mainly, which are the most useful. So you do have to find some tricky ways around this room without your gun. So what he decides to use another tech that runners use is you pull out a grenade and you can cook the grenade. And what that'll do is it'll dampen your footsteps. So you can run right behind soldiers and they won't hear a sound.
Because naturally that works in real life. Like, we all know that.
That's true. It does.
Yep. Good work by Apache here.
So this is the first area, like Limes was saying, that has a camo. So this will be our first camo pickup. There are 3 guards in this room. So Apache has to make sure that none of them can see you. One of the biggest differences when you run on this difficulty in European Extreme is if the guards alert, which is like a second after they see you, it is an automatic game over. So they will have to use up a continue. So that's why Apache's knocking out the first 2 guards, because their vision is so good they can actually see you on this side of the map. There's one more guard Apache has to take out before grabbing the first uniform camo.
Yeah, and that'll be the raindrop camo. It's a little tricky to get down there with the roll. You obviously don't want to roll off the ledge and die.
Ooh,
Little tricky there. So, like I said, you gotta be careful.
The auto grab mechanic coming in handy, saving Apache. There are a few places where that auto grab mechanic does not trigger, and you just end up falling to your death, but it does. That's Vermillion on the other side. He knocks out the 2 guards as well. That first roll behind the tree to knock out the first 2 guards is trickier than they make it look. But they both got through it. Now Vermillion has to knock out this second guard. As Apache's making his way to the Ocelot unit. Now the Ocelot unit, I think, it's the steepest area to learn European Extreme. It's the hardest fight to learn when you're first learning European Extreme, just because there's so many moving parts and there's so many opponents that if one sees you, it's game over and you have to start over. So let's see how it goes.
It's really a gatekeeper when people try to learn this game. They get to here, and then a lot of people just, no, we're done. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces, as Spartyy said.
So I'll explain how this goes. So they grab the box, and the box is it's probably the best item. So first you shoot the guard in the body, then you move up to this next guard, and you have to shoot him. It doesn't have to be a headshot. A headshot is preferred, but you don't have to. Then third guard in the body somewhere, roll over here. There's about 4 guards on the other side of this wall. So you want to throw a stun grenade. You can knock to get their attention. Stun grenade goes off. You hide behind this little ledge. You first person lean out, shoot the guard on top. You make sure this guy's knocked out, because if you get a body shot, he'll still be up, so that's why Apache had to take care of him. There are 2 more guards all the way on the west side of the room. He takes care of one. There's one still up, so he goes over here, uses the auto aim, 1 shot, and that's down. So you got all that Limes, you ready to do it?
Yeah, picture perfect. Verm's going to try to do the exact same thing that Spartyy said. I'm not going to repeat everything that Spartyy said because that's just a mouthful.
So
Gonna
to
get a
sum it
stun
up
grenade
short,
here.
lots of guards, knock them out.
Pretty much. Oh,
Oh,
one
there's
not
one guard
knocked out.
still up. Vermillion has to hurry up before he regains Okay, he got him.
Yep.
CQ sees him. Make sure that guy's knocked out. He's not. So Vermillion's going to peek out. So another tech you'll see runners use is they will use little walls and go into first person and lean out. And they are completely invisible to guards when they do that, as the guards cannot see them at all. So you'll see them use a wall as cover and peek out.
and you can see on the camera that was a little bit of a sigh of relief for Vermillion getting out of there first try. So Apache picked up another item along the way. He picked up the zombie face paint before he left the Ocelot unit room. And now he's in the river picking up another camo.
So he's picking up the Gakko camo. So I was saying the box is the most useful item in a speed run. If you have one item you can use, it's got to be the box. And there's so many useful ways you can use it. And the first and the most obvious one is you can use it on slopes. Instead of trying to roll up slopes or walk slow, you can equip the box and move at full speed.
Yeah, not having that box loses way more time than you think. It is a very powerful weapon in this game, and there'll be some other uses for it later on as well, which we'll explain at those points.
Oh, we'll cover those. We'll cover those as well. So the Gakko camo, both runners grab it here as they move on to the next area. So next stop, there is some maneuvering around some mines that are on the floor. You have to be, or some claymores, I should say, around the floor. So you have to really be careful to not step on those, as well as a huge electric fence when you first enter the room. So they have to crawl and be careful because the corners of that will electrify you. There are some claymores, trust me, right before that roll. Apache just makes it seem like they're not even there. Climb up the tree. You shoot the wall to get the dogs to bark, and as the dogs bark, it also gets the attention of some soldiers on the other side as they start to move. As Apache moves more north in this area, he equips the box. What the box does is it gets some guards' attention to the right. So they look at the box, they say, "What is that?" And you see a huge fence in front of them. So instead of them coming to the fence, they have to walk all the way around to the area, giving Apache a clear shot to our next uniform. Which one is that, Limes?
That is the Choco Chip camo.
Choco Chip camo, a great camo to use. If it wasn't for the animals camo, I think the Choco Chip camo would be very beneficial in this speedrun to use, especially as you get to areas like the desert, the mountaintops. But the animals camo is just so overpowered. There's no need for it.
Yeah, they're going to be picking up a couple items in this room where Apache is the snow face paint, which he just picked up, and then he's going to go onto the roof here and pick up the which one is that?
That is a snow face paint, I
Face
want to
paint?
say.
Oh, no, water
uniform
camo. Water camo. Yep.
Water camo. Okay. Need to brush up on my which uniform is where. And then just shoot these barrels. The barrels, explosions do not count as kills, as like all other Metal Gear Solid games. The explosions don't count as kills because the explosions killed them, not you. So Ocelot fight. Ocelot fight, the main point of this fight is to keep Ocelot in one place. You do not want him to run around behind the tree. You don't want him to run around behind rocks. You want to just keep him in a loop, and how the runners do that is the use of some very well-timed stun grenades. You shoot the animal in the back to get Ocelot to stay in place and look at it. And that's really the main part. Apache's having a great fight, and unfortunately he does roll to the left, but makes
That was still really good. Yeah, really good.
And another camo Apache picks up quickly is the animals camo that I was talking about earlier, right as he moves on.
All right, Verm with his Ocelot fight.
Same thing with Vermi.
Missed a shot there.
Fine, you do have some room for error, missing shots here and there. You just have to keep Ocelot in this platform. You do not want him to move around.
We got away a little bit, so.
And the bonus for knocking out all bosses non-lethally is a uniform. So you do have to defeat all these bosses using non-lethal strategies to get their camo.
While Verm's finishing up Ocelot unit and we got some crawling going on, is it a good time for some donations?
This is a perfect time.
All right, we've got some showing lots of support for our runners. The Pay Monster with a $10 donation to PCF saying, first time donator to GDQ. Everyone is watching from home. Let's go Verm. Hype! Animate Light donates $50. Kept you all waiting, huh? To donate this $50 during one of my favorite games being played. Well, not yet. It's not over yet. Because I plan to donate more money before the week is over, because the best is yet to come. And Katsubi Tuna donates $100 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation and asks chat, do you think love can bloom? Even on a battlefield? Thank you for your generosity, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. As we get back to the caves. Caves, not much is going on. There is one camo to pick up in the caves, and that is the snow camo. And outside of that, you just have to run to the end to get to the next boss fight. Tell us a little bit about this boss fight vibes.
Yeah, so the pain, so you gotta throw a grenade at the start to get the bees off of the pain here. And then we're gonna try to be dealing headshots. The hitbox on the pain is very, very strange. You kind of want to like aim at his chin, but it can be very inconsistent times. Bees go on, try to get a grenade off to get the bees off, and then you're just gonna deal more headshots. And then that'll take us into phase 2. Phase 2, we're going to throw a grenade at the start of the fight, and then we're going to go into first-person view so the bees don't attack us. And we're just going to try to deal more headshots, hopefully trying to keep him in this phase before more bees get on him so we don't have to throw another grenade. And if you have to throw one, it's one shot away. One shot.
One pixel, maybe a body shot will even do the trick. And Apache realizes that.
So maybe an opportunity for Verm to gain a little bit of time here, but he's having a little bit of a hard time.
You know, this is one of they throw the toughest boss fights, I believe, early on in the Ocelot unit and the Pain. The Pain headshots are so crucial to ending this fight as fast as possible, and it's not easy at all. Apache just went through it really quickly, made it seem like the easiest thing in the world, but many people struggle with these two boss fights when they're learning the games. The Ocelot unit and the Pain of Vermillion has a great fight.
That was a little bit quicker.
He didn't even get the shield that Apache got, so 2 great times. I was mentioning earlier, they're both running on Xbox, and before everyone was running PS3, now as time went on with the new Xbox releases, with the backwards compatibility, it's so much beneficial more now to run on Xbox as you get faster loads. It's actually available to play, unlike the PlayStation, where currently you can't even download it from the store. So it's moving from like a PlayStation game, MGS3, to now an Xbox dominated game. But the one con, or not the only one, but one big con on the Xbox is it is much harder to aim in first person. So seeing both Apache and Verm get through a fight like the Pain, where it's so much manual first person aiming, is amazing to see.
Now, Apache picked up a piece of fruit on the ground to give him more stamina. Normally, if you were doing regular runs, we wouldn't have to do that, but since we were doing extra running around, it lowers our stamina, and we'd have to get out of this water here way more often. So, pick up a piece of fruit, and then we just can proceed through the river as normal.
Yeah, little things like that. Apache and Verm are really the only ones that do this category, so all these strats is them coming up with it on their own. So picking up the fruit like that, where normally in like a regular run, like you said, Limes, you don't pick up that fruit because your stamina is high enough to where you only need to come out of the water once and you just keep on swimming. But since they have to do so much more in picking up the camos and waste more time, their energy starts to drain, and they do need to get that stamina up before going to the next area. So here they'll use that tech I was referring to earlier. First person, tiptoe, headshot easily. And then letting the barrels take the rest.
Yeah, you want to shoot the barrels to do some damage on the end for the later boss fight. If you don't do damage now, then the end's going to be at full health and not going to be a pleasant fight.
Yeah, comment we always see is, why don't you kill the end here and don't have to fight him later on? Well, it's actually slower to pick up the sniper and kill him here than it is to actually fight him later. And also in a non-camel run, that's not viable because you have to fight the end to get his camo. And this is a good time to bring up, what is the penalty for missed camos?
So they agreed to 3 minutes for missed camos per, or if you miss the spirit camo, that's 10 minutes.
Okay.
So it's
And we'll
pretty hefty if you
explain
miss
why.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's 2 camos. Well, they will get a 10-minute time penalty if they miss it. We will explain why later once you actually see what they have to do to get those camos.
So chat, help us keep them honest. I know we've got people here on the inside who are keeping track, but I want you to be
Yeah,
on
you
the
guys-
lookout too.
We need those MGS3 experts to let us know if they missed anything. And this is a good time for any donations you might have, as they are really just making their way to the lab.
You got it. There is so much love. I'm just going to go. You tell me when to stop. Sadisto donates $25 and says, MGS3 was my most played PS2 game. Got to play it at least once a year. P.S. I'll donate another $200 for a little Snake Eater sing-along at the end. Buster Gomez sends in $400 to PCF and says, it's game night. There's a tree frog with a $50 donation asking, Snake, here's $50 to not eat me. Our Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes runner from earlier in the week, Joseph Joestar 16, has $25 to PCF and says, good luck to both ApacheSmash and Vermillion. May your ladder climbs be quick and the Fury RNG be in your favor. Smooth Operative sends in $10 and says, yo, Apache, best of luck on the MGS3 run. Cheering for you and Snake with all the cute carotons from Twitch chat. Shoutouts to everyone working together for PCF. Let's go! Ribbit. And Cece sends in $10 saying, wait, don't be fooled. He's just the same Snake with all the upgrades. But he's got new face paint. And don't forget that a $10 donation is enough to be entered to win a new hat. And that's a reference to that Snapback Shadow Moses hat available from Fangamer and Konami for a minimum $10 donation.
Thank you very much. So the winners grab one more face paint. I believe that was remind me, D-Lines, which face paint was that in the vents? I think the Oyama face paint.
It was the Oyama, yep.
Okay.
And there was a little piece of
Yeah.
tech as they were entering the lab. They kept going in and out of their boxes. If you're out of your boxes and the guards notice you for too long, you'll get captured and get taken to jail, basically. But if you go back into the box, it basically just resets that timer. So that's why they were just going in and out just to reset that timer.
Another very useful tech for the box again, as Apache grabs the fly camo. You do not want to be wearing that camo ever. Making his way down to the B1. We see Vermillion making his way to get the fly camo, and the stall is very tricky. You have to knock it down. If you stay in front of it, it will knock you back, so that's why they do the little punch, go through it, and then wait for it to fall down before making their way out of there.
He's been fighting back ever since that continued. Like, he is gaining ground. This is tightening up. Very impressed.
He's trying to get there with good movement, trying to keep his line straight. One thing Vermillion does is he does make use of the 3D camo, where Apache favors almost exclusively that static over the head classic camera. But I am in the camp where certain rooms are much easier to keep your lines and keep your movement cleaner in that 3D camera. So you do want to take advantage of that whenever possible. But there are some others in the Apache's cam where it's like, no, we're sticking with the overhead, we're sticking with the classic, we are not using this 3D camera. One less variable out of the equation.
Yeah, I think the 3D camera is just dizzy, more work. I'm with Apache with what he does, honestly, even though I've ran this game like for 5 minutes. So
I'm with him for about 95%, but there are areas where I'm like, this is much easier to keep the line straight if I'm using the 3D camera. So our runners are making their way out of the lab. They don't need that disguise anymore. I don't know who is falling for his disguise, but they all are anyways. And they're putting on the animals camo. The animals camo, easily the most overpowered camo you could have. The best effect from it is you don't get the shaky aim. So this is where you don't have to worry about eating any foods to keep your stamina high to get your aim all shaky and swaying everywhere because of it. The animals camo takes care of that. And it's also great camo index for the mountains later on in the run.
All right, so they're making their way to the next boss fight, the Fear. Why don't you tell us about that?
The Fear, you would think it's a very difficult fight, but there is one big flaw in the Fear, and it's the use of stun grenades. Whenever the Fear is stunned, all damage converts to non-lethal damage. And so the runners need that, one, because they need his camo, and they need to do non-lethal damage, and two, then there are traps set around this whole map in this area, so they are going to use that to their advantage as well. So a stun grenade gets thrown by Apache, runs to the end, and before you know it, the fight is over. You're like, well, what happened? Well, let's turn over to Vermillion screen. You'll see it. Stun gets thrown. You see there's a trap right by where the Fear is. He's going to set off that trap, move to the end, shoot him, and...
Oh, he's got to go to a backup. Oh,
gotta go to a
no.
backup.
He was
So it's
talking about
cool.
this right before the run, too. Oh, man.
So he's got two options. He can actually look for where he is, as he doesn't have that much health left. So he can actually try to auto-aim, hit him with the Mark 22 before he eats some food, and he eats some food. At this point, yeah, just start the fight over. So he eats the food, regains his strength, and at this point, you feel it
man.
you feel it for Vermillion, as he's gonna have to do it again and use that trap and try to knock him out, as he had a sliver of stamina still left over.
That's
Apache.
so unfortunate.
Taking Warehouse 2 very safe. If you saw earlier, he knocked down all the guards out, used the SIG spray to knock down the last guard, and then grabbed that desert face paint. And this is where Apache's on his way, as Vermillion is looking to beat him this time. So he grabs the ammo, he shoots him for some extra damage, and there it is. That's how it should go. Although it doesn't.
It happens. I mean, it just can happen with a fight like that. So there's not a whole lot you can do.
Happens to the best of us. But now, this is where one of the camos we were mentioning has a 10-minute penalty. It's due to where it's located. You have to swim all the way back where the river first starts. It does not spawn there when the first time around. You have to wait until you defeat the Fear, go through all this. And then if you look at Verm's screen real quick, you'll see another great box trick. It's called the box headshot. As soon as Snake comes out of the box, his aim will be a little higher than normally where it would be. And fortunate for us, that aim is perfectly leveled with the guard's head. So as soon as you come out of that box, if you shoot automatically, your aim is right at that guard's head level, instantly knocking them out. So Vermillion makes his way to get the camo where Apache's getting it.
Yeah, they're going to be picking up the water face paint naturally because it's in the water. So, but yeah, a lot of backtracking here. Probably a decent time for a few more donations.
You said that Snake out of the box, but he felt at home in the box. It's where he belongs. That said, we have plenty of donations I would be happy to read. Miles sends in $500 and sings, "I give my money not for honor, but for you." I will always salute your generosity. Thank you very much, Miles. Gurio with $20 saying, "I'll tap 20 mana to cast Dono on Verm. Let's go, Verm." Okay with $25 saying, "Long-time watcher, first-time donator. Love the gameplay. Shoutouts to Lime City. Thanks for the fun and insightful commentary." G-Shark with $25 saying, "Just simply, it's time." And Tactic Ortega donating $10 to say, "Hey, Vermillion, what a thrill to see you finally on the GDQ stage. From watching you in darkness and silence through the night. We are all supporting you and winning. From all the boys at Magic Wednesdays."
Thank you very much. We get back to the warehouse. On our way to fight the end, and Verm isn't having a horrible run. You know, he only has 2 continues up to now, which isn't bad, but when you go up against Apache, who is one of the most technically gifted players, and he's not doing anything fancy, he's not doing anything risky and all that, but technically he's playing everything by the book, and that's what's putting him ahead of Verm at this point.
I will say that me and Apache talk quite a bit, and his main goal for this run, obviously he wants to win, who wouldn't want to win, but he wants to get Foxhound. He wants to get rank 1 in this run. He's had MGS3 in before, didn't get it, but he wants to get it this time. So he really wants to get that rank 1, and you can see the determination just in his gameplay, how he's taking certain rooms, certain strategies. he wants that
The enemy's here.
added GDQ. I mean, it's something special when you get that. It's very, very difficult.
And Apache has always played like this, whether it's a race or whether he's just doing a run by himself. He's always playing the same rules the same way every time. He's not going to do something he's not comfortable with. He's not going to do anything super risky. He's going to play his game, and that's what brings him success. And Verm, like I said, he's not having a horrible run. It's only 2 continues. There's still plenty of time to try to bring this back.
All right, so this is the end, but it's not the end of the run. It's just the boss fight called the end. But there's also a boss called the boss, but it's not this boss. That boss is at the end. So why don't you explain the end to us?
All right, try to process all that. So, the end, the boss fight before was you go all the way up to where the end is, and then you fight him. But a Japanese runner, Gogo Time, actually said, let's bring the end to us instead of us going all the way to the end. So that's what Apache's doing. At the beginning, he shot the end. Then he threw a smoke grenade. Then he's doing all this shooting. It's all just to make noise where he's standing to get the end to spawn where he is. So that's what all this is. He's making all this noise. He's waiting a certain amount of time to get the end to spawn where he is. So he throws a stun grenade at him, punches him a few times, hits the old man with a smoke,
Where did you?
and then holds him up as he's going to the ground. So this is where it deviates a little from your regular run. He's going
I
to
don't
aim at
think
his
so.
head to try to get him to give up his camo.
I don't think so.
He's a stubborn old man. He's not going to give it up easily. Come on.
Fine.
Shake it.
Have this.
There you go. Okay, so he drops it. Now, where he drops the camo is a little
Try this
RNG.
on the side.
Sometimes it bounces off the wall. Sometimes he'll throw it right at your face. So Apache's going to run here, meet him, hit him with some more SIG spray. And then he's going to just manipulate his movement, know where he is. So he's going to throw a stun grenade ahead of him. So pay attention to the end's stamina bar. So it's not over yet. Another punches, another use of the SIG spray. And then knocks him out. So now he knows he's going to run back north. So he's going to meet him there instead of letting him run. Because the end can run very fast. You're not going to keep up with his speed. Great fight by Apache. As Vermillion is doing the same thing. He did all that waiting around, all that noise making just to make the end appear to him. Again, Gogo Time came up with a strat, Major Zero, another MGS3 runner. Made some tweaks to his strat to make it faster, but he's going to do what Apache just attempted.
All right, well, while Verm finishes his end fight with Apache, we do have the ladder coming up. As is tradition, we're going to stay quiet for it. We're just going to listen. We're just going to enjoy it. And I hope you guys in chat enjoy it as well.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart. But you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
All right, tell us about the mountains.
Mountains. I hate the mountains. One of the trickiest areas in the game. Luckily for them, there isn't a camo until all the way at the end. So this is how the normal European extreme run would be. So you're going to make use of the box. Again, the box is very useful. Not only is it great for movement, as you see, there's a lot of slopes in the mountains here. So the box makes it all kind of just one speed as Apache decides to, you know what, I'm going to roll. Now the difference between the rolling and the box is that camo percent. So you do want to keep your camo index as high as possible. And then as the guards don't have sight on you, then that's where you want to go ahead and switch over to the box. So the second mountains, Apache is going to just auto-aim, headshot the guy up top, use the box to move around. Now let's see, some people like to use the box headshot that I was mentioning earlier where Snake's aim is just perfect enough. Let's see what Apache does. And this is what I mean. He's not going to take it too risky. He's going to play his game. He's going to use the mechanic where he's hidden behind that wall, goes on his toes in first person to become invisible to the guards, knock him out. Another guard here. There's again, he's playing it safe. Headshot and moving on. Let's see what Vermillion does on his screen. Again, he's doing the rolls, making sure the guards don't see him, keeping that camo percent high, and then at the end, once there we go, using the stick spray, putting the suppressor back on, then using the box once he's out of sight. So moving on to Apache, there's 3 guards up at the top here. He's going to go ahead and just knock them out with the Mark 22. There's one more at the end. Let's see how he does this. He's going to just roll into him. Yep.
Yeah, he played that really safe. You might see something different here from Verm.
Okay, let's see if Vermillion does this a little different. He does, because he takes out the lethal gun. You already know he's going to take it a little risky. So he's going to shoot this guy, but not enough to kill him. He's going to shoot him just enough and then knock him out with his roll. So the roll does not count as kill. Gravity killed him, not Vermillion. And now Vermillion's going to continue playing it risky, because if you see again, he switched to his lethal gun, and what he's going to do is use the barrels to his advantage. He's going to group up the first 2 guards, let him get seen. The first 2 guards move close to the barrel, knock both of them out, switch to the stun grenade. There's 1 guard at the end. He's going to take care of that guard with that stun grenade, so he doesn't have to roll into him. As Apache, again, textbook movement on his end as he goes and meets Eva. You cannot get an alert in this area. Now normally you can't get an alert and be seen by guards anyway on European Extreme, but this is one of the few areas where even on other difficulties you cannot afford to get an alert, because you cannot initiate the next cutscene. The door will not open as Vermillion grabs that splitter camo.
Hey, gents, okay if I sneak in just one donation?
Yes,
for it.
please.
It's actually a little bit late for what the donor asked for, but Major Zero donates $250, asking for this to be read as the ladder was going on. But climbing the mother of all ladders, Snake, can't fret over every rung. Here's 250 nanomachines, son. Thank you so much, Major.
Thank you very much. Okay, now Apache is going to fight the Fury. The Fury is easily the hardest boss fight in the game, and if anyone tells you he's not, tell them they're lying. I always think the end is the most dangerous, because if you get hit with enough tranks, you get sent all the way back to the lab. So it is but then the scariest one, the one where you're most likely to get a continue, is the Fury. The Xbox is great in so many things, but the one thing it goes against you is there's much more fire, since the Xbox can handle it better than the PS3. You'll see there's a lot of fire everywhere, and it doesn't lag as much. So Apache, his main thing is don't let the Fury run away. You want to keep the Fury on this side of the map. You do not want him flying off over there. That is,
Ooh, and he fell off.
Falls
Ooh.
off. That's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Only got 2 shots left too.
He's gonna go back up and try to find out where Fury is.
Oh, right in front of him,
right next to him. So
Oh my God! There it goes.
I guess he found out.
He did find out where he was. He was trying to use the auto aim mechanic with the gun to see where he was flying off, and next thing you know, he falls right in front of his face. So let's see. Oh,
That's
he's
the
all the way
theory
in
in a
the back
nutshell.
now.
Like, it's just
That is
complete randomness.
That's Vermillion gets knocked down by the Fury, so both runners having a little bit of trouble. And there's the fire. You see there's fire everywhere, can't talk now. All over Apache, and he let the Fury get away. So now the Fury is just going to run away to the other side.
Verms has ran away too, so who's going to finish this first?
This is a huge opportunity for Vermillion to claw and scratch his way back as both runners are having trouble. And the Fury's going to land right next to Apache.
Oh, he's getting... He didn't die. He didn't die.
He needs one shot, it looks like, with the...
They both need one shot.
Oh my god, this is so close.
Verm's out.
Almost dead. And Verm is out. Verm
has taken the slightest of leads. What a comeback.
Next thing you know, what a comeback. And this is what I was talking about. The Fury, I hate the Fury. It's easily the hardest fight in the game just due to all the randomness he has. He can land in any spot. He can fly off in any direction. The fires are everywhere, and the fires can be right on your feet while you're shooting, and it'll stun you. The fires can block your view as you're trying to shoot them. So, all that said, and Vermillion is in the lead. Wow.
That was very, very exciting. I felt bad for Apache losing his Fox sound, but this is exciting stuff right now. Oh my god.
No race in the world better than a race that's neck and neck. Absolutely.
Yep.
For sure. The Fury gives and the Fury takes. That was a good area to actually explain. The box has two great other benefits. Is one, you cannot catch on fire while in the box, and two, if you are on fire, equipping the box extinguishes the fire. So that's why you did see the runners use the box quite often to move around the flames. So let's see how Apache does. He's going to take a little safe. He's going to use the smoke strat. The objective of this room is to grab Rykov without getting an alert. So he's going to use the smoke grenades to hide himself, shoot the other guard on the right. He's away from your screen. You can't see him as Vermillion already grabbed him. I didn't even see Vermillion grab him. I was so focused on Apache. Vermillion's already grabbing Rykov and moving him to the end. And Apache's done it as well.
This is... I'm still getting over that Fury fight. Just what a turn of events, honestly. So as we start to go into a slower part of the run, but there's a little small glitch you can do.
Yeah, if you think I'm done listing all the boxes' usefulness, you're wrong. There is another useful glitch, I guess you could say, with the box, and Vermillion just glides through to the end. Nicely done. The box is so good. You know the usefulness of the box in MGS2 lines. MGS3, the box just became so much overpowered, and I think they knew, because in MGS4 they made it useless.
All right, so we got torture coming up for both of these guys. Donations galore.
Sir.
You want me to start now? I can do
That
that.
would be
Yes,
fantastic.
please. We have a lot of time to kill as they are getting tortured.
Oh, that's an unfortunate choice of words. The NorCal Smash community donates $200 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation and says, "Huge thanks to all of the crew at Games Done Quick for your amazing events. We're so proud of you, Vern. Honestly, let's go!" Prismatic donates $75 and says, "I'm getting married soon and my fiance is obsessed with the Metal Gear series. He's currently watching the stream while working on wedding plan. If you can see this Quad 341, you should totally go up the aisle to the Metal Gear themes." Mr. Mad Cats sends in $100 and says, "Fortunate enough to be in a position to donate to my favorite yearly event, GDQ. Just had to donate during a run of an entry for my absolute most favorite game series. This game has meant a lot to me, and getting to donate during the game a few weeks after my grandmother receives a cancer diagnosis seems very appropriate. Let's take Snake's advice and make our own future without cancer." Donation goes to Sparty's choice. If you want to know, the next unmet is cleaning the train in Power Wash Simulator, or we have others and we can get down to that later. But if that sounds good, let us know.
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty. $200 from Rowdy. What's Snake's favorite food? Steak? Steak? Steak! This was one of my favorite games as a teenager, introducing me to the only jazz song which elegantly talked about eating tree frogs. Cheers, and here's to kicking cancer's butt. Baba with a $100 donation, and Kevin with a $300 donation. Neither has a donation
Well
comment,
then,
but they are both
let's
tremendously
get
generous,
started.
as is everyone donating to get us to
What is your target?
$1,078,607 as of the time
it
I
the
say that,
Shadowhawk?
including ANC, who donates $500 and says,
Or maybe it's
"What
the
a
legacy.
thrill with speed runs and
Answer me.
power washing
Who is helping?
tonight." Could not have
Who
said
let
it
you in
better
here?
myself. Thank you to all of you. And Teddy, who is a bear,
You're
donating
a tough
$50 to the Prevent Cancer
Even you
Foundation
must have
and
your
saying,
limits.
"Soon I will feel asleep,
I am
like
a
Metal Gear.
patient
Until
man.
then, I will feel the speed runs."
All right, now they have to get out of the cell. So how do you do it? Well, obviously, you just spin Snake around and around and around until he can't hold his food in any longer. So the good guard that Johnny is, he decides to check what's going on. So he opens the cell door for you. Fortunately, he gets knocked out. So you grab the smoke grenades from Johnny, and that's how you make your escape out of prison.
Well, Dizzy just looking at that, I might throw up myself at this point.
Oh, look away, Limes.
All right, one of the harder rooms in the game. This is a frame perfect trick that Vermillion is doing, and
And
I got it.
you got it. Apache's turn. He throws that, gets the guard's attention on the roof, uses the cook grenade strategy to dampen his footsteps, run behind that guard, and frame perfect as well.
Yeah, 2 frame perfect tricks. That was incredible.
Nicely done, Ken. All right, next room that Verm is going to. Some people make it seem harder than it is. This is more of a grenade placement is what it's all about. You need to throw the smoke grenade in an area where the guard on the left over there can't see you. So that's what Vermillion's doing. He's using that smoke to dampen his footsteps as well. And then there's another guard dog at the end. He uses smoke to kind of blind him and move on to the next area. Nicely done by both runners.
Yeah, I've seen it a fair amount of runners screw this up, but yeah, it's all about grenade placement, and it's really not too bad. So into the sewers we go.
So sewers, not much to do here. It's all movement. It's all getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible. There are some little areas you have to crawl through to get past. But there are some dogs chasing you, but as long as you're moving, nothing much to it. And Vermillion's kind of riskier play is paying off now. You saw in Mountains 2 where he was doing the box headshot, he was blowing up barrels, he was throwing stun grenades. All those little tiny seconds he was able to make up, and then boom, Fury comes. He didn't have the best Fury either, but he had a better one than Apache, and that's all that matters to Verm so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally the difference right now is just the little nickels and dimes adding up. So we'll see as we get into the later part of the run if he can keep this up, but it really can go either way at this point.
So we had 2 camos where instead of a 3-minute penalty, the runners decided on a 10-minute penalty. We saw the first one on the backtrack. Here's the second one, and it's the Sorrows camo. And to get his camo, you have to walk all the way to the end of the river. Usually in a speed run, runners would just kind of RPG or grenade at their feet or drown and just use a revive pill to get it out of the way. But to get the camo, you must walk this whole river. So this is a great time for donations if we just see them just walk to the end.
My pleasure. Bear Fighter Mark II donates $250 with the comment, "MGS holds a special place to me as it brought my friends and I much closer together. We would get together for a whole weekend to go through each of the games at a time and play through the whole series together over a couple of years. We went through Snake Eater at a pretty rough point in time for me, so I had to get a donation in to get even more MGS3 at this AGDQ. Quaz77 sends $200 and simply says, "Pain, pain, pain." It sure was. Thank you very much for your generosity. Oh, that's Raspberry with $100 saying, "Sad I can't watch live, but I'm sure you guys are kicking butt. You're pretty good." Spirit with $100, sending in gratitude for the tech specialty before the run if you saw it. If not, I would definitely check out the VOD later. They say, didn't know I needed an MGS3 Monkey Island crossover, but I guess I did. And Debundus sends in $250 saying, a brain cancer diagnosis left a friend unable to attend his daughter's wedding. Here's a little to honor his memory. Huge Boss sends us $25 and saying, Snake, this is Huge Boss, the boss of Big Boss. Infiltrate the enemy base and defeat cancer. Over. And Flexi with $25, interested in one of our prizes available during this block. I have to donate for that beautiful signed copy of Celeste. Money goes to Stepmania because we need that showcase again. Thank you very much to everyone for your generosity. How much more time do we have?
Too much now. We'll probably get a couple more.
Okay. Jules also excited for Celeste coming up later tonight. Had to donate for the Celeste name incentive. I'll be staying up again late again to catch the run. Trans rights. Thank you very much, Jules, for your $10 donation. And Flaryon with $50 saying, I've been loving GDQ ever since I first found out about it years ago. I've made so many friends and we love watching all of these amazing runs together. Thanks so much to the runners and GDQ staff for bringing such great entertainment to us all and helping bring me together with all my friends. P.S. If this gets read, I want all my friends to know how much I love them, and I wouldn't be who I am today without you guys. Stay awesome always.
All right. So they made their way towards the end of the river. They got their spirit camo. So now they're just going to be going to the waterfall to meet Eva.
Retrieve their gear, and then move on. Now, there is a camo in this room, but you can't get it now. You have to go through the waterfall and then come right back out. But they're on their way to get the gear. And this race, I mean, it's as good as I hoped it would be. I feel kind of sorry for Apache because he's been playing extremely well. Really no mistakes. That really was his fault. He's been playing everything that's in his control. He has absolutely nailed. And then you get to the Fury, and it's just stuff that's out of your hand. He lands right in front of your face. He falls off the ledge. He just spews fire everywhere. And that's all it takes for Verm to take the lead. So here it is. Apache going right back out.
Both getting that face paint.
Kabuki face paint is theirs.
They're making their way back up to the surface.
So, if you thought I was done telling you about all the box tricks and tips, well, there are more to come in the next area. So the first thing both runners will do is just run to the end of the tunnel. There is a very useful box at the end they must grab. We'll tell you how useful that is in a little bit, and then go back up to Groznygrad.
Yeah, so we're going to do our menus now, get set up for later, get rid of some weapons, add some weapons, items, all that fun stuff. Just basically set up for the rest of the game.
Yeah, this is really your last big menu changes you're going to make, so you want to make sure everything is in your inventory. Apache is doing his menus right now. I think Vermillion is going to wait until he goes up the ladder to do his menus.
I think he already did his.
Ah, okay, that is my fault. So here we go, box. You go up here, you shoot the guard, use the box, and the other guards are like, oh, it's just a box, we'll let them pass. But in reality, they're so focused on checking up on their comrade, their brother, who has just been knocked out, that they don't care that the box is walking in front of them. And then you also use this box to go to the end, go on this truck, equip that box you just picked up, and get transported right inside the Shagalhot hangar. Did I tell you the box was useful?
Yeah, it's a decent box if I do say so myself. Very decent.
Hail the box. The box is just so good in MGS3. So anyway,
that's clearly corrugated cardboard.
That is the only cardboard I am aware of.
All right, is Verm gonna do my favorite shred? It looks funny. He's doing it. There we go. Get the RPG out. Knock down some lockers to get a couple of uniforms there. It just looks really goofy. It just looks goofy. I really like it.
you use your hands to normally open the locker.
Like
I just
Apache
RPG
is.
The doors, like Apache is, I just blow the doors off and continue on.
No, I don't like when runners do it the boring way.
Well, Vermillion trying to keep us all entertained as Vermillion shoots at the wall over there, get everyone to scatter. And now there are 4 C3 charges you have to plant. There's the first one for Verm, as Apache also does a little shot to get everyone scattering around like chickens. Second C3 charge for Verm, as Apache's on his way to plant his first one. Very nicely done. Using the box. The maintenance guys don't know what to do. Don't know whether to sit down or wind their watch, so they just stare at you all with a question mark. Vermillion putting down his third C3 charge, using the box up that slope, and the last one as well. Apache on his way, planting the third C3 charge. And then using the box to go up the slope quickly to plant the last C3 charge. So tell us about Volgan 1.
Well, I don't know this fight non-lethally. You do it.
So normally you would use lethal strats in Volgan 1 because it doesn't count as a kill on your stats. Since you fight him again later on, it's not really a kill. But again, the runners must do it non-lethally to get his camo. So what they're going to do is just bait out his attack, and then kind of CQC grab him the first stage and just keep shooting him in the back. So that's what Vermillion did. Very nicely done. So again, Apache's going to bait out the attack like that. Go ahead and grab him and then shoot him in the back. So the second stage, they're going to use the Rykov mask to get Volgan a little vulnerable. Use the Mosin Nagant non-lethal sniper that they picked up from. Oh, and he
A little bit of trouble for Apache.
Apache's going to try to do the bait out his attack.
He's really struggling.
There we He's not going to do the. There it is. He's doing the old school way of. Come on.
Oof. This is rough.
He says one tick left before phase 2, because he's still in phase 1. There you go. Okay, phase 1 is done. That's Vermillion. So onto the Shagohan. Shoot bazooka at him.
Yeah, this fight is a lot easier when you do it lethally. It's very, very quick. I mean, it's a real pain to do this fight non-lethally.
Yeah, non-lethally, this fight is one of the most difficult ones. Because you have to space out your shots. You can't just spam shoot him and get it done. You really have to wait and
All right, good
for
phase
your
2.
openings. Nice. So he gets the Cold War camo. Puts on the Japan flag for Apache. I didn't see if Vermillion did anything, but they will have the sneaking suit on. Sneaking suit, you take much less damage than you normally would. They're going to use that to their advantage here. Nothing much to do in the bike chase. They're going to make use of stun grenades. They're going to make use of the sniper rifles. They're going to make use of RPGs to try to deal as much damage as they can at the Shadowhawk as well. This is all really a side scroller. There are a few areas where you must take out certain guards for Eva to continue driving, so you can't just totally not pay attention. But most of it is a side scroller.
Yeah, you definitely want to do chip damage on the Shagohan for later when you actually get into the main fight. It makes it a lot easier to do a loop that we're going to try to do later on.
Yeah, the way I've always thought about it, seeing this game run and playing it casually, it's kind of like you're doing one damage at a time, but then it adds up with how long this segment is. Is it something like that?
That's exactly it.
Yeah, it all carries over. Yeah.
And look at the Shagohan's life bar. You can see it on Vermillion screen as well as Apache screen. It is slowly ticking, and you don't see that with each shot, but when you add it all up, visually you can see the Shagohan taking damage.
Yeah, since we're on European Extreme, it doesn't deal as damage as heavily or as quickly, say, on like very easy, but eventually you do get the damage. You just have to be quick and spam and fire and whatnot. So this section coming up, that Verm is doing, you do have to take out some of these guards, otherwise you will not be able to progress. We're just going to take them out with stun grenades and just try to get out of this room as quick as possible.
Yeah, Apache always says he can tell who's running MGS3 just based on their gameplay, because there are so many different ways you can play this game. Some people decide to use stun grenades here. Some use a combination of stun grenades, the Mosin, even RPG, just to get the guards as quickly as possible. So it is cool to see how different people use different items.
Another big advantage on the Xbox is normally on the PS3 we would be looking either up or down to avoid in-game lag, which it does slow you down quite a bit on the PS3. On the Xbox, it's just a smooth 60 FPS, so we don't have to worry about that at all. Be a nice benefit.
Yeah, the PS3, it got to a point where you have to like look up at the sky to try to get the frame rate as high as possible so you don't lose time. So it is great to not have to worry about stuff like that on the PS3.
Yeah, and these guys here, you just want to take out the passengers. The drivers really don't do any damage or nail any shots into all that often, so just take out the passengers and you'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah, the drivers just have like a pistol that they sometimes might shoot you. It's the passengers that have the auto gun that can do a lot of the damage. And only 4 vehicles can spawn at once, so that's why you see Vermillion take out 4 passengers and then just leave the rest up. There's no more spawn up to this point, so
Yeah.
Apache making his way to the end. There is one guard with an RPG at the end of this level. I think Apache's going to try to no-scope him here. Oh, he's going to scope him. Get him. No, got him.
That was close.
I have seen Apache no-scope these guards as well, but decides to play it safe a little bit because that guard at the end can deal a good amount of damage with that RPG. Just as good.
I'm not sure if either one of them have any life meds just as a backup, so you do want to play it safe, at least early on.
You never know, towards the end of Bike Chase, there is always that possibility of catching fire or something, some guy blowing up right next to you to cause enough damage to get a life med. But the great news, this is one of the benefits of running all camos, is you can really make use of this sneaky camo, where normally in a new game, this camo is so much out of your way, it's not worth using time to go pick it up. But in an all camo run, since you're already going to get all the camos, you might as well use it to your advantage. So now the sneaking suit, again, just absorbs all the damage, and I think it does, correct me if I'm wrong, I think half damage than normally, and also regenerates faster.
Yeah, I'm no MGS3 nerd, so we're going to say that's correct, but I literally have no idea.
While chat corrects us, and before we get into the Shagahad fight proper, do we have time for a few donations?
Sure do.
Yep.
Awesome, thank you. Posh sends in $10 saying, yo, what's up everyone? Thanks to everyone who made this GDQ stream happen. Let's go, Verm, you got this, bro. Shout out to Justin Hurd, RIP. And Play Castlevania 64, that's quite the username, donates $25 saying, glad to see the runners remember some of the basics of CQC. I know this section on Verm screen is important, so I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah, so there are 4 C3 chargers on the bridge. We're going to take out 3 at the start and then wait for the Shagoha to be in a particular position on the bridge and then shoot the final C3. You don't have to be in the scope or anything. Just get your gun ready, aim where it's supposed to be, and then just shoot at the appropriate time when Eva says it's here, and that's it. And then we're on to the Shagoha fight.
Shagoha fight. So this is what Verm will try to attempt, what is known as the Shagoha loop. And that is to keep Shagoha in one place and try to do as much damage. And Verm already messed up the loop. You saw him fumble through his menus a little bit, and I think that's what caused the Shagoha to move a little bit. He's trying to salvage what he can, but he's already behind where he'd like to be. He should have already at this point been at the Shagohad's back, dealing damage, kind of keeping him in one position. So this is actually a good area. So if you can just keep Shagohad where he is, and Shagohad, unfortunately, the Shagohad continues to move. So I think at the beginning, the little fumbling of the menu did cause him to lose the loop. But now he's just trying to just salvage it, trying to do the best he can to just keep him still. You can only damage the Shagohad on its back. There is no point in shooting him on its face.
This is a golden opportunity for Apache. If he can get this loop, start it quickly, he can really put a dent in Verm's lead.
Here we go, Apache. This is a huge opportunity for him if he can gain the Shagohad loop. It was actually Major Zero as well as Apache who taught me the Shagohad loop. So let's see if he gets there to go. He nails him in the back. He's going to wait until he recovers. You can't just spam him in the back. You have to wait until the iframes go away. and then go on, and again he hits
Good
him
start.
with a shot. Great start for Apache. He's keeping him in one position. Eva's not moving. He does another damage. He's going to shoot him again. Wait till the iframes are over, and then shoot him in the treads. Great fight for Apache.
This is very good.
Vermillion is almost at the end, and just because he had that head start, he's just spamming RPGs. Okay, so it's not too bad for Apache. He can make up a huge chunk of time here. Or Verm, as Vermillion's onto Volgan 2. He's just trying to get the same thing. Keep Volgan where he is and shoot him in the head. That's Apache. Great fight for Apache. That is a perfect Shackle Hog.
Oh, it got away a little bit on Verm's screen.
It did. He missed a
couple
headshot,
seconds there.
unfortunately. So Apache, huge opportunity to make it up here. Won't be in the lead, but he can make up a bunch of time for endgame.
It's going to be within about 20 seconds, which is not a lot considering a couple rooms and things that are coming up towards the end of the game.
2 textbook fights from Apache.
Very good. He needed that big time.
Needed that. It comes up clutch. So again, Apache doing what he can. I mean, Volgan 1 got away from him a little bit. I think if he had that down, he for sure would be in the lead. And then Fury, what happened there, but he makes up a huge chunk of time getting the Shagohod loop down, as well as keeping Volgan 2 up in one spot and not letting him move around.
So Bike Chase 2, same thing as this first one. We're just going to be taking out some guards throughout, especially towards the later stages of Bike Chase. We got to really be watching our health and whatnot, but probably a decent time for more donations.
My pleasure. Octopus Fiend sends in $50 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation and would like to remind us to embrace the box, become the box. Box is love, box is life. And Mikey donates $25 to PCF saying, "This is for my friend Ted, who loves MGS and hates cancer. This is the sneaking mission." Shabby McCrabby sends in $25. Such an exciting race of one of my all-time favorite games, donating for the signed copy of Celeste, one of my other all-time favorites. Good luck at both racers. And Jimmy G with a $200 donation that simply says, "Love you all. Thanks to everyone involved with the event."
Jimmy G, go Niners.
I knew you were going to make a sports reference, man. I was thinking that.
I didn't make it. The donator made it. I just piggybacked off it. All right, here we go. Getting towards the end of this area of Bike Chase, the biggest danger is at the end. There's a guy with a RPG ready to ruin your day. So Apache's going to try to make quick work of him, and he does. Nice. So this area is the most dangerous area. We can take the most damage quickly. It's because these guys on the platform, there's always 3 on your screen. There can't be more, and if you knock one out, another one takes the spot. Now, you can catch on fire as the platforms can fly right above your head, and you can't hit them, catch on fire easily. You can get rammed by one of the ones on the platform. They also can do a lot of damage just manually shooting at you. So, unfortunately for them, the sneaking suit comes real handy here, as you're able to absorb all that damage, you're able to regain your health, so it's not as bad as a regular run. Great use of the camo by both runners, but they do also have to be careful. That's why you see them just kind of spamming, not letting these enemies get too close to them.
Yeah, sometimes you can have one of those guards just right above your head, and there's just virtually nothing you can do. You can't hit him, you can't really do much of anything. Almost the case for Apache to a degree. Oh, right there too. And if one of those guards like hits a tree and it explodes, it'll actually do damage on you as well.
Yeah, a lot of things can go wrong, and I've seen runners here where they'll just pull out the RPG instead and not even worry about it. Both of them are doing well, keeping the enemies away from them, keeping themselves clean. On to the next area. This will be the last where Verm is going. This is the last area of the Bike Chase. So Verm nodding his head up, bobbing up and down. He's feeling it. He can smell the victory.
He knows what's going on. He's watching. He's paying attention. I know he is.
He said he couldn't go to sleep the other night. He was so excited. So what he did is he didn't go to sleep for 2 nights in a row the night before, so he could sleep extra well the night. And I said, that's a big brain strat right there, Verm. And we'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, Verm's been playing 4D chess in the days leading up to this. I was there for that stream too. I love to see it.
But no, we're all on chess. Verm is on checkers.
Yeah, and he told me he was hyped up on some Red Bull right before going on, so he is amped for sure to try to get this victory.
And Verm, like I said at the beginning, Verm, he plays competitive Smash, so he's not gonna get rattled by races. He's not gonna get rattled by competition. He's been here. He's been in big stages. He's done that. So, and Apache on the other hand, I don't know anyone who's been in more races than Apache has, especially for MGS3 races. So they're just neck and neck. It's just like one small mistake away from deciding this race.
And I think to this point, they've collected everything according to my count. I don't think there's any missed camos or face paints, and they're down to
There's
just one to go.
Yes, just one last one, and that is the boss to beat her non-lethally again to get it, but they have picked up everything else. It's all in their inventory. Each runner has not missed any, so no penalty to worry about. Just have to get that last camo as they come to the end of the last bike chase sequence. Like a Verm still, I don't know if he's listening to music, or maybe he's just playing some music, or maybe he's just feeling himself, but he looks like he's in the groove right now.
Yeah. Coming back from that shaky start, like
Let me have some more.
You just play it out. You play to win the game. See what happens. You never know.
For sure. One last menu of the game. You have to cure Eva. You don't have to cure Snake, but you do have to cure Eva. So that's what both runners do fairly quickly. Defeat her just one time here, cure her wounds, and off to the last couple rooms of the game.
Yeah, you want to talk sports references? This is why you play all 4 quarters and overtime if it comes down to it, because it is
Play
coming
to
down
win
to
the
it.
game.
You play
win the
to
game.
win the game.
For sure. So this is an area where it's the, if you like hand-holding, if you like escort mission style stuff, well, this area is just for you, as Snake has to make sure Eva stays close enough to where she's following Snake. You don't want to get too far ahead where she loses sight of you, then she'll stop. You don't want to be too close to Eva, because if you're too close, she will stop and wait for Snake to start moving. So you just want to keep that distance. Try to keep Eva as close to Snake as possible to get the lines straight. You don't want to go too far away. You're doing a good job of it. I said as close as possible, you know what I mean, without getting Eva to stop, so.
Yeah, like if there was a way to skip this section, I know a lot of people that would pay some decent coin for it. So any glitch hunters out there, we don't like this. It's kind of like MGS2 with the Emma escort. Like we don't like that. No, we want to get rid of this.
Yeah, Kojima likes to throw little escort missions towards the end of the games. You had it in 2, you had it in 3. Did you have one in 4? Kinda. You were protecting Raiden. I'll count that as an escort mission. Alright.
A lot of guards in this room for Vermillion coming up. Not like it's pretty easy to take them all out. I mean, you just gotta have decent movement and try not to miss too many shots like Vermillion is. But if you hide behind that tree right there, you can see them, but they can't see you because of reasons. So just typical game stuff.
Yeah, the tree, it's like for the enemy, the tree works as a big solid block that they can't see through, but you're able to see right through them and shoot through them as well, so use that to your advantage as much as you can. That's what runners are doing. Oh, Apache, gotta be careful.
Oh, he stopped the guard.
great
He was going to
shooting. That
come
was-
right behind if he didn't stop.
Apache was so smart. Instead of trying to headshot that guy and instantly knock him, he just shot his body to get him to stop on his tracks. That's such a smart play by him, and then he was able to headshot him once he did stop. So Vermillion making his way towards the end of the room as she falls down. Nothing else to do but just walk towards the end. And the boss is going to decide who's going to win this race.
Which is the final boss of the game.
Which boss?
I thought we already fought the end.
I'm so hungry.
No, this is the boss. All right, never mind.
boss?
Let's just watch the runners.
Early. Let's see what you're made of.
All right, Verm. First thing you want to do is CQC her attack, as she will always run at you. Use the Mosin for some headshots if you can. Headshots do more damage. You're going to CQC her on the ground, throw a stun grenade in the air, look away so you don't get stunned, but she will. Wait a little bit, shoot her in the head, some more, CQC slammer, get your stun grenade out again, chuck it up in the air, look away so you don't get stunned, but she does. Shoot her more in the head, and then you don't want to, and you CQC slam her again, shoot her in the head, and you don't want another stun grenade, so you run away, she won't get stunned this time. She runs towards you. Go ahead and CQC reverse her one more time. Shoot her in the head. Slam her. That's GG's. That's Verm. Ice in his veins. Picks up the camo. Let's go.
Shooting the carrot town for good luck. Not time yet. Not time yet. Time is going to be coming up later, but...
Apache doing the same thing. Some headshots. Some CQC slams. One more headshot. Good use. Runs away from her. Lets her come to him. And then reverses the CQC. Nice. Wait a little bit. Shoot her in the head. CQC slam.
Clean.
And clean fight from Apache. Again, another great fight from him.
Got the camo, shot the carrot town for good luck, and that's a win for Verm. Time will be coming up after this cutscene when we shoot Ocelot, but what an exciting race. What an exciting comeback by Vermillion. Unfortunate with Apache, and really just the Fury is what cost him.
Giving me this.
No.
Jack. Or should I say,
No, he did not.
Snake. You're a wonderful man. Kill me. Kill me now. Do it.
But yeah, GG to both of you guys for
GG.
sure.
That was,
it was very, very exciting.
Amazing race to commentate. Thanks both.
There's only room
That was
for
amazing.
one boss and one snake.
Still, when you both were fighting the Fury, I was at the edge of my seat. Like my eyes are
my
going back
God.
and forth on both screens, trying to see who's going to win this fight.
All right, time will be coming up when right for Vermillion now. Got another minute or so for Apache, so good stuff. Good stuff for sure.
So Vermillion, you look a little nervous at the beginning, like you said, as time is coming up for Apache. As soon as the gun goes off. Time. Yeah, you look nervous, and then at the end, bike chase was happening. You were nodding your head. You were feeling, I don't know if you listened to music or what, but you were in a much better mood at that point.
I'll tell you why. It's because like I was like, you know what? I messed up in the beginning, but I'm like really proud of this run. Even if I lost, I was like, throughout all this, I think I played well. So I was really happy about that.
Yeah, I definitely had a blast commentating this for sure. MGS3 is not my first game, obviously, but I had a blast doing this. I thank you guys for having us to be a part of this. It was incredible.
Can't think of anyone better, mate.
Dude, for sure. Same to you, Apache. That was such a fun race. Like I was like thinking about it. I was like, this, no matter what happens, it's gonna be like a fun no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just glad it was close, because these races can not be close sometimes.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah.
I just hope it was awesome to watch as well.
Yeah,
I'm
whopping
excited to watch
27 seconds. That's not very much in this game. So.
But wow, what a the beginning was the scariest part for me, and I was like, you know what, we're past that. We'll do
What
it.
a thrill.
We made it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we sure did.
Yeah, I know they're going to pull us into an interview really soon, so yeah, thanks for having us, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks again to our racers, ApacheSmash and Vermillion, on that absolutely fantastic European Extreme all face paints and camos race of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. It's my pleasure to have been involved with another Metal Gear Solid run after the Metal Gear Solid 1 finale at AGDQ 2022 and the MGS3 run at AGDQ 2020. If I become the Metal Gear Solid host, that is a legacy that I would absolutely love to have. We've got some quick messages for you, and we'll be right back with more awesome speedruns in just a few minutes. Welcome back to more Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 Online. My name is ateatree, and I would like to take an opportunity to read a special message from one of our donors. Twimini sends in $15 saying, a shout out to a longtime internet friend and host ateatree, and big ups to my favorite game of all time, Fantavision on the PS2. And that's not Metal Gear Solid 3, but I'll let it slide in light of your generosity. Thanks very much, Twimini. Now we've got some messages from Humble Bundle coming up.
Hey everyone, I'm Meaty6, here to show you some quick speedrun tricks in Doom Eternal. First up, we have the Urdak Island skip. As a beginner, you take this trick fairly slowly, preserving your speed through the rings and doing 3 ballista boost dead swaps. But with practice, you can get an extra boost in with punch walks and go much faster. Next, we have the Tower's Sushi Skip. Beginners should take it slow and line up their boosts to ensure that they don't miss. But experts will be able to maintain momentum the entire time, ramp jumping on the ledge to keep their speed going. Finally, we have the legendary Ecoin Punch Boost. Beginners can do a more careful strat to get into this window, avoiding the punch boost altogether. With some practice, you can punch boost all the way up to this window. And then, when you practice long enough, you can do this. Check out Modern Doom speedrunning, join our Discord, and be sure to check out the latest bundle from Humble Bundle, including Doom Eternal, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
We'd also like to give thanks to Fangamer, everyone's favorite video game merchandise company, who is now able to ship worldwide. If you go over to fangamer.com and check out the Games Done Quick selection, the collection selection, you can make your selections of amazing GDQ merchandise. I've already made my purchases for the week. The virtual attendee badge, I think we are just a few from getting all those badges upgraded to the foil variant. So if that is of interest to you, head over there now. I also got the polyhedron mug and one of the new items, the keyboard keycap. And don't forget that sales of GDQ merch benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation. To learn more, to check out the collection, head over to fangamer.com/GDQ. There is still so much love rolling in for that MGS3 race that just concluded between ApacheSmash and Vermillion. Strangelove sends in $25 saying MGS3 is my favorite game in the Metal Gear series and probably my favorite game of all time. I spent probably 3 nights just getting beaten into the dirt by the Fury, so seeing these runners wreck face in a matter of minutes was super cathartic. Snake, defeat cancer. And Wingdrops with $5 saying, and that's the ace in the pistol round. I never doubted you, Vermillion. Let's go. Shout out to the Evergreen Old Boys. Just to let you know, chat, we do have an incentive for this upcoming run to also clean the train, in addition to all of the other zaniness that will be happening during the Power Wash Simulator No Soap exhibition. The 6 players, all vehicles, no soap, if I'm being specific. We are currently at $10,490 out of $15,000. I know you will get us there, chat. But before we get to that, we have a post-run interview with our Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater runners, ApacheSmash and Vermillion, joined by Feasel.
All right, hello, I'm Feasel, and I'm here with the runners from Metal Gear Solid 3, the race that we just saw, ApacheSmash and Vermillion. Thank you very much for joining me.
No problem.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, and congratulations on just an awesome race. There was a lot of real back and forth. I mean, it was kind of a nail biter who's going to win. So were the two of you kind of aware of how each other were doing during that race?
I didn't look.
Yeah, I didn't look either, actually.
Yeah.
I was like...
Sometimes that's for the better, you know? I mean, it probably changes how you play.
I think that's the first time I haven't looked, because there's obvious like breaks in the run where you can check, and I just thought, like, I hope it's close. I really hope it's close.
Yeah, like I was thinking, I was like, I'm not gonna look at my phone. I'm not gonna look at anything. I'm just gonna focus on the game and just like, you know, be like dialed in. So yeah, I didn't look at Apache's feed at all.
Well, it was very close, and yeah, it was just great to watch. So, well, basically, what happened? Apache took the lead pretty early on, maybe the first 30 minutes of the run, and I'm kind of curious, like Vermillion, what you probably felt that you maybe were lagging behind a little bit during that part of the run, right? What was going through your head at that point, or were you not even like thinking in terms of the race?
Yeah. Okay. So in the beginning of the before the race even started, I was like, I'm not that nervous. Like I'm gonna try to play my best, right? And then when we started playing, I was like, oh no, I'm feeling it, And then I got to the first major room of the run, which is Dolino Vodno, which is like the bridge room, right? Mm-hmm. And I messed my shots up, and I was like, oh no, this is not looking good. So I was like, I'm gonna reset here, and like I was. If you look at the camera, I was just like shaking my head. I was like, there's no way. I've never failed that room in my life. But I thought to myself, I was like, I could be nervous later, but I can't be nervous in this moment, Like, I'm going to just try to play my best. And honestly, like, I feel like after that beginning, like, failure, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play well. And it kind of lifted a lot of the stress on my shoulders. So that's how I felt.
Yeah, no, I understand how that goes. You kind of break the ice and you're like, all right, now I'm okay. This is not going to be the perfect run. Now let's just, focus on just enjoying it and, doing what you practice,
Yeah.
So I think things really kind of started to heat up, so to speak, during the Fury fight. Both of you, it got a little chaotic for both of you there. I'm curious, and that's where Vermillion, you jumped into the lead. I'm curious, like Apache, what was, how was that experience for you, that fight?
Okay, so not to John, but you need sound for that fight. And so I'd set up my sound. And then before the run, I had a problem with my capture card and I had to like change settings. And I only noticed as I got into that fight, I was like, wait, I've only got headphones on one side. So I had to like use my gun to try and tell where he was with the auto aim. And I just got the most unlucky like Fury land. He like landed on top of me. And I knew there was nothing I could do. And I was like, oh, that figures. Everything had been going so well up to this point. That figures.
Yeah, and then it seemed like things kind of turned around for you during the Shagahad fight. Like during the chase, I mean, you guys were pretty close, but then like during that final part of it, there you really seemed to pull in and really narrow the lead, right? What were your thoughts during that fight?
Is that for Apache?
I thought
yeah, for Apache, yeah.
Oh, my bad. My fight went perfectly, and after the Fury and all the way up to the Shagahad fight, I got like the loop on him, which is really tight to set up, and you only get like one chance to set it up. Basically, you stay behind the Shagahad the entire fight, and he can't move away from you. And I got it about as perfect as you can get it. But the only thing in my mind was like, I really hope this race is close. Because if someone makes a lot of mistakes, which is really easy to do, someone can get ahead real far. So I just wanted it to be a good race. I wanted it to be like a good showcase of the game. That's all that mattered to me in the end.
Now, were either of you going for rank 1? And if so, how does that kind of affect the way you approach things?
Try it.
We were definitely trying,
trying? Okay.
Yeah. But like the moment I failed the first one, I was like, well, that's not happening anymore. Right. But I'm going to try my best just to play well. Because like the thought of having rank 1 in your mind the whole run is like, it kind of like gives you this like little pressure. But once that was gone, I was like, okay, well, I can't go get rank 1 anymore, but I can still like try my best.
There's almost like a gentleman's agreement across all people who compete in this game and like do races in this game that even if you lose rank 1, you still do all the non-lethal stuff. So you still do like non-lethal during bag chase, etc. So we're always doing rank 1 even if we can't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm usually pretty interested in how people kind of get started running the games that they do, and I guess Vermillion, you got a bit of a story to share with us, right? You want to tell us about that?
I have a really interesting story here. Okay, so this was about like 2 years ago, and I had a donation, a sub goal on my channel, and it was to learn a speedrun, right? Mm-hmm. And then we reached the sub goal one day, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna speedrun Metal Gear Solid because I really like that game series, right? Grew up with it a lot as a kid. So I typed in Metal Gear Solid speedrun, and you want to know who I found? ApacheSmash playing Metal Gear Solid. I watched him do any percent speedrun, and I was like, you know what? This guy's really good. I want to learn the speedrun one day. So I learned that run because of Apache, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and here you are just racing against each other. It's kind of
Just
great
beating
how
him.
the roles. Yeah, and the pupil overcoming the master, I guess.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, that is awesome. I mean, I had a great fun watching that race. I hope you two enjoyed it. I mean, it's hard to tell when you're all so focused, but like, I mean, I hope
I was having a blast for sure. Even if I lost that race, because I was prepared. Like, after the beginnings, the mistakes in the beginning, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have the time of my life no matter what, because this is like something I've always wanted to do, and to do it with Apache, like, you know, it's a great honor, honestly.
Yeah, I just wanted to walk away from this saying that we both played well, and I think that's definitely the case.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the case. And you gave us quite the race to watch. It was very close. You know, it really was kind of a coin flip in the end who was gonna win. So that was great. Well, that's it. That's all the time that we have. Thank you both for taking some time to chat with me after the race. I appreciate that.
No problem at all. Shout out to Days Ahead real quick. Thank you for letting me use your setup and inviting me to your home. Appreciate you a lot.
Thank you so much. And I would like to give a shout out to the Northern California Smash Ultimate community. They've always had my back, and I really appreciate them a lot. So thank you.
Great. Well, that's it. Everybody stay tuned for some more great speed runs coming up next.
Thank you so much to Feasel, Vermillion, and ApacheSmash for a fun interview. I love hearing people talk candidly about their experiences. Just knowing that, you know, even if you have those nerves, you can still put on an absolutely amazing show, and our runners totally did. Just want to give you a quick update on our Power Wash Simulator train cleaning incentive. We are currently looking at $10,854.52 out of $15,000. Want to let you know that that incentive can be met during the run. So if you are able to do so, if you are in a position that it is comfortable for you, head on over to gamesdonequick.com and find that donate button on your screen. And when you put in your donation, make sure to look down the page for the incentives button. You'll want to click add incentive, and you'll get a list of everything that you can donate to, and make sure that you put whatever portion of your donation that you'd like to towards that incentive, so we can see our intrepid runners cleaning a train. What does that realistically mean? I don't know, but I'm very much looking forward to finding out. There are a lot of people helping us get to that point, including Simply Steve, who sends in $500 saying, "Power washing in real life is so much fun. It's no surprise it's fun to do with friends virtually. Let's clean that train." Thank you, Simply Steve. And Cone Recon with $25 saying, "Good, clean fun." Stealthy Dragon gets in on the action with a $100 donation to PCF saying, "Wash that train." And Cartridge Blower is saying hello with $25. "A few days ago, I came to you all asking for food crimes. My food crime is that I believe we can group foods into a 5-sided food pyramid. They all fit under 5 categories: soup, salad, sandwich, cake, and broccoli. That's all foods. I can explain, but for now, I must feed on a tree frog." Shoutouts to Sunshine, a tea tree, misread my own name, who is doing an incredible job, and you, chat, you're cute. Shoutouts to you. Put this towards cleaning the train in Power Wash Simulator. It's not suplexing a train, but it'll do. All right, I've been looking forward to this as much as anyone who has no idea what they're about to get into can. I am looking forward to this Power Wash Simulator, 6 players, all vehicles, no soap run, with Amerlin, Bullets, Big Law, Enigma of Requiem, Angelic Knight, and Acadial. Let's get clean.